From showing the best zombies in the 21st century to having the best, most emotional storyline ever, The Last of Us has taken the world by storm. Recently, one of the actors said something pretty interesting. Gabriel Luna talked about getting emotional support from the video game. You know him from the first and then the last episode. He plays Joel's younger brother, Tommy. In a super exclusive interview, he said that he got a lot of help from someone on the inside. The game actor, Jeffrey Pierce, helped him feel better when he was sad, even though the show had a great cast. But some of the scenes were very difficult to him. After Sarah died when the family's first attempt to get away from the cordyceps virus failed, he and Joel went their separate ways. They didn't see each other again until episode 6, when Joel and Ellie arrived in Jackson, Wyoming.
What you doing? I came here to save you.
The actor had a lot of thoughts about working with his other co-stars because they'd all gone on a very emotional journey. While he wasn't shown on the show until then, he was pretty nervous to work with them, especially the original game actor, Jeffrey Pierce. Very adorably, he talked about Pierce's emotional support and how cute it was when they met at the start of the show. He had met him before at a movie premiere and had talked to him online when they started filming the show. Since then, he's been nothing but kind and helpful. He's been one of the people in the clan who has helped him the most. He defended Tommy's role in the story on the internet when some viewers questioned his choices. Plus, the most adorable thing ever was when he saw Luna working, he gave him a big hug and told him how much he liked his work. Isn't that the sweetest thing ever? With the amazing performance that he gave, all his fans are really anxious to know what lies in the future for him. So, will Tommy return? Like in other episodes and the video game, Joel and Ellie continue their trip without Tommy, who has been an important part of the story since episode 1. Fans have wondered if the brothers will ever get back together on the show because they've got close family ties. After Storm Reed's character Riley was introduced in episode 6, the trailer for episode 7 of The Last of Us showed that Tommy wouldn't be in it. Instead, the story would be about what happened to Ellie. Still, he could come back, and since the series has already been picked up for a second season, after its groundbreaking first season, Tommy didn't show up in the first game, but he has a big role in the second one as one of the founders of Jackson, the Wyoming town that appears in episode 6. Even though the episode used the part where Joel apologizes for their mistakes in the prologue, Tommy still has a lot to learn in the second season. There are still a few more episodes of the show left, and it's still not clear if the show will keep sticking to the source material or not. The story of the second game is so lengthy that season 2 might be split into 2 parts. Both the showrunners have said that the show will end after the 2 games. If season 1 ends before the original game, Tommy probably won't come back until at least the middle of season 2. The show's success lies in their commitment to the video game. Their last game actor cameo drove fans crazy. If you've played the game, every episode of the show will make you nostalgic. From the storyline to the shots, everything is just excellent, and this one cameo had fans losing their minds. You know who I'm talking about. Remember episode 4? In the episode, Kansas City was a Fedra quarantine zone until it fell. Now, Melanie Lynskey's new character Kathleen gathered her loyal rebels to find the mysterious Henry. Lieutenant Perry, who was her second in charge, was nearby. When I saw who the actor was, I got literal goosebumps. It was Steve Pierce.
I think that in a video game, you have to be able to do everything that an actor in a theater would do. It takes your entire body, your entire voice, your entire performance.
While Gabriel Luna plays Tommy in the series, it was so awesome to see Pierce in the show. Fans weren't sure who he was at first because even though he had a familiar voice, he went above and beyond with his get-up and his acting. It was amazing. What's even cooler is the fact that another OG game actor recommended him for the show. Troy Baker talked to the showrunners. You know he had the cred having played Joel in the video games.
Specifically with my episode, there's a stunt that I did that I'm proud of if they use it. And if they cut me and use a stunt actor, I will 100% understand why, but I still did it at least once.
He talked about Perry's role as Kathleen's revolutionary right-hand man and his growing worry about the crumbling concrete in the basement of one of the Kansas City buildings, which led to one of the craziest zombie mobs I've ever seen. Baker also said that Perry's hesitation makes the audience think, and we all knew that Kathleen's obsession was the wrong move, the worst she could have made, considering they live in a post-apocalyptic world that is crawling with zombies. But the fact that Perry hesitates made me realize how bad things could get, and he was right. It was a pretty hard character to play, and I'm sure you all agree that Jeffrey did a great job. Perry believed in Kathleen and followed her, but he was also much more moral than she was. The thing is, sometimes the person in charge needs to be the one with the least resistance. He isn't as interested in her desire for revenge, which came from her love for her brother, but he still followed her. All of the fans of the video game knew what was coming by the end of the episode, though, and this is the biggest reason why everyone loves the show so much. It's super revolutionary, and fans are pretty happy with the outcome. This raises a question that fans are pretty scared to ask. Does the show do justice to the video game adaptations? If you've seen the episodes, you must be screaming, "Hell yeah," at the top of your voice. The game has been critically acclaimed since it came out in 2013. Fans were super moved by the storyline and super scared by all the zombies. The series that they've made out of it is doing amazing, too. The story was so popular that a lot of production companies picked it up to turn it into either a TV show or a movie series. However, all of these projects were dropped in pre-production.
Make you feel better? Did it make you feel safe? How does it make you feel now?
Now, HBO has made a live-action series out of the franchise, but it has big shoes to fill. Players have thought for a long time that this game's story is one of the best, and they wouldn't settle for anything less than perfection. At first glance, the show may seem like a typical post-apocalyptic story, a lot like The Walking Dead. But once you get into it, it isn't like anything we've ever seen before. At its core, the show is a character-driven story about what it's like to lose a loved one and find hope that maybe a new chosen family can be built, all set against a dystopian zombie apocalypse. Plus, I can say one thing for sure, the series does justice to the video game. Ellie and Joel's characters are so true to the OG characters that it's hard not to love them. The idea of making a well-rounded TV show out of a stealth-based video game that came out 10 years ago may seem impossible, and it is. But HBO showrunners have worked hard to make sure that this live adaptation stays true to the game. Even the actors who played Joel and Ellie have worked hard to make sure that they stay true to the games too. Together, they've given us a show that we will treasure for the rest of our lives.
A deep breath in, slow breath out. You squeeze the trigger like you love it. Gentle, steady, nice and slow.
You gonna shoot this thing or get it pregnant?
That's all I have on Luna recalling the emotional support he got from a game actor.
Some people didn't want anyone telling anything at all.
Which one were you?
Neither, I just did my job.